What's good, everybody? PNAS, the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Vaccinology in the post-COVID-19 era, PNAS, January 11th, 2021. Abstract: the COVID-19 pandemic is a shocking reminder of how our world would look in the absence of vaccination. Fortunately, new technologies, the pace of understanding new and existing pathogens, and the increased knowledge of the immune system allow us today to develop vaccines at an unprecedented speed. Some of the vaccine technologies are fast-tracked by the urgency of COVID-19 and also be the answer for other health priorities such as antimicrobial resistance, chronic infections, and cancer that the post-COVID-19 world will urgently need to face. This perspective analyzes the way COVID-19 is transforming vaccinology and the opportunities for vaccines to have an increasingly important role in health and well-being. The path toward fully synthetic vaccines made by using genomic information started in 2013. Sunday, March 30th, 2013, was a nice Easter festivity when the World Health Organization, WHO, was notified about the new H7N9 avian flu influenza virus that has infected 3 people in China and killed 2 of them. It was a new, potentially pandemic virus for which the world was not prepared. The experience of the H2N2 in 1957, the H3N2 in 1968, and even of the H1N1 pandemic in 2009, had shown that vaccines had become available only after the pandemic peak, and therefore they were too late to be useful. On Monday, May 1st, 2013, scientists at the J. Craig Venter Institute in San Diego, California, accessed the sequence of the hemagglutinin and neuraminidase genes posted by the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention on the Global Initiative for Sharing All Influenza Data System, and used the enzymatic isothermal assembly method with self-error correction for the cell-free synthesis of the 2 genes. The synthetic genes were then shipped overnight from California to Massachusetts, where scientists from Novartis Vaccines used the synthetic genes to generate, in only 5D, a synthetic influenza virus seed ready for vaccine manufacturing. In addition, they produced an RNA vaccine ready for animal immunization in the record time of 1 week. Fortunately, the H7 H5N9 influenza virus did not transmit efficiently between humans, and although it caused a few hundred cases during the next few years, it did not cause a pandemic, limiting the use of these vaccines only to clinical trials. Anticipated by the work of Craig Venter, teleportation of DNA code through great distances was not Star Trek's fiction anymore. For the first time, a fully synthetic viral vaccine was developed by the in vitro cell-free synthesis of genes using the genomic sequence that had been teleported across the planet at the speed of light via the internet. The process of teleporting the genomic sequence has the ambition to change forever the old and dangerous way we used to make viral vaccines by shipping viruses across the world. We use the term internet-based vaccines to describe this new way of making vaccines using the internet to share the genomic information without the need to transport, access, and grow the real virus. When in January 2020, scientists from Fudan University and their collaborators posted on the internet the genomic sequence of the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 SARS-CoV-2 responsible for the current... No, we're not doing that. We'll go back to this one. When in January 2020, scientists from Fudan University and their collaborators posted on the Internet of Genomic Sequence of the severe acute respiratory syndrome virus coronavirus 2 SARS-CoV-2 responsible for the current COVID-19 pandemic. Most of the laboratories across the world were ready for the challenge. They not only had the technology to make vaccines starting from synthetic genes, but some of them also use computer modeling of the atomic structure of the spike protein of similar coronaviruses to design upfront an antigen stabilized in the prefused conformations. 56 synthetic genes were used to rapidly start the development of more than 200 different vaccines. The remarkable quality and speed used for COVID-19 vaccine development was possible because the scientists combined for the first time 3 decades of scientific progress in independent fields: reverse vaccinology, structural vaccinology, synthetic biology, and vaccine adjuvants. The advances in antigen selection and design reversed the structural vaccinology, together with the use of innovative synthetic platforms such as nucleic acid vaccines, RNA and DNA-based viral vectors, and the availability of licensed adjuvants allowed for an unprecedented speed in the discovery of several COVID-19 vaccine candidates, many of which were already in clinical development stage. And check this out, we got a timeline. Reverse vaccinology from 2010 to 2011. Internet-based vaccine starts right way before our timeline for this. structural vaccinology, synthetic biology. So this has the timelines for these advancements in this technology. And it shows the adjuvants as it has changed to match, I suppose, to match the new technology. I'm not really too hip on all this. I understand this, but if anybody is more scientifically inclined than me, let me know what if there's anything to this to be aware of. Technologies used for COVID-19 vaccine development. Reverse vaccinology, structural vaccinology, synthetic biology, and vaccine adjuvants that so far have been used independently to develop vaccines were combined in an unprecedented worldwide effort to design and develop COVID-19 vaccines. And this is a long article, actually. It goes on and on and on and describes all this stuff very thoroughly. And I don't understand half of it. Well, I do, but... And I'll go to show you right here, too, something else. So... And you come down here to the competing interest that tells you who these people are. And it looks like it says competing interest statement. All authors are full-time employees of the GlaxoSmithKline group of companies. This work was sponsored by GlaxoSmithKline Biological SA. Okay, so we got that. And this is part of a greater thread. In this article, it says Venter got the sequence from China. Sure. This is my video. This is all part of like climate change agenda. This is this individual's technology right here that I was just showing. CRISPR creator says we could engineer species to fight climate change. Yeah, this is totally psycho. And then we got Musk here. This is actually really interesting. This one, this M-scope, come in here, check this out. There's a link to this YouTube video. Future of microwave beaming. M-scope.
So the official name of this project is SCOPE-M, which is this complicated acronym that stands for Safe and Continuous Power Beaming Microwave. But what we're actually doing in the project can be stated in much simpler terms. We've been tasked by the Pentagon to deliver 1 kilowatt of electrical power at a distance of a kilometer.
And I wanted to actually show you guys something.
The point of Scope M was to demonstrate a wireless power beaming link at the microwave frequencies. So the component is, the components are we need a transmitter and we need a receiver.
So here we go, we got these two.
The transmitter, we used a 100 kilowatt.
And I'm going to connect these guys to Venter so you understand that I'm showing Venter, like I said, is behind all this. So that's Peter DeMantis.
The Rectenna is an array of
and look at this, this is a company.
Antennas. Each of these antennas is connected to a small rectifier diode.
HLI. Human Longevity is a San Diego-based venture launched by J. Craig Venter and Peter DeMantis in 2013. Its goal is to build the world's most comprehensive database of human genotypes and phenotypes, and then subject it to machine learning so that it can help develop new ways to fight disease associated with aging, replete, all kinds of stuff. Health Nucleus, GE Healthcare.
And the other is at MIT's Hoosier facility in Massachusetts. And we did testing at 2 sites for a few reasons. At Blossom Point, we were able to deliver a very large amount of power, 1.6 kilowatts, exceeding the target we had for power delivery by 60%.
If you still shill for Musk after I posted all this information, it means you can't read or can't understand what it means. This is New World Order Agenda BS 100% point blank period.
We actually sent more energy with the
Venter is and all associated with him are responsible for mass
As you'll see in
atrocity.
the footage, we could use that received energy to power up a big bank of bright LEDs for the Massachusetts demonstration.
I'm
Because
looking
the power
for
beaming
another
link
post
at
within
Blossom
this
Point,
thread
Maryland,
that I have.
while being higher power, was on for
Oh, I
a
think
shorter
it's
period
at
of
the
time. It
top.
had a lower duty cycle. The total amount
Okay,
of
so
energy
here's a
transferred
tweet
was smaller.
with Musk actually
Power
talking
beaming
about
is the
Venter.
efficient point-to-point transfer of electrical power across free space using a directive.
Or he's not
electromagnetic
talking about or with Venter, he's
The link
talking.
for Scope M was just over
He's
a kilometer,
posting
and
a
the total amount of power was 1.6
article about
kilowatts.
him
We had
talking
been
about
targeting a
developing
kilometer and a
vaccines
kilowatt, so we exceeded
originally.
both of those goals easily. And the reason for setting those targets is
And
to
it
push
talks
this
about all
technology
this
farther
stuff,
than it
sends
has
the
been
flu
demonstrated
virus.
before. This is the most significant microwave power beaming demonstration that has occurred in nearly 50 years. And by setting
And
these
yeah,
targets,
they're all just
we have
blowing him in
exceeded
the comments.
all but one demonstration, one that was done way back in 1975.
And then I
with a
wanted to
huge
show you
dish
what X
back
Prize
in
is.
California at the NASA Goldstone facility, and with a very large receiver, both a much larger transmitter and a much larger receiver than we used
So
here.
this is
So we've been
Elon
able to
Musk's
approach
$100
that
million X
watermark
Prize
with
for
a much
climate
smaller transmitter,
change
much lower
garbage.
receiver, and a wavelength that makes a lot more sense for doing some of these microwave power beaming links.
In microwave power beaming, you want to use as high a frequency
And the
as
guy,
possible to keep the beam
Venter,
tight.
won one of these
But you don't want to use
X
too high
Prizes
frequency or you can start
for
losing power to
his
the
human
atmosphere.
genome project.
It turns
So
out 10 gigahertz
these
is a
people
great
are
choice
all
at
linked
10
together
gigahertz.
like
The
directly
component
through their
technology out
money,
there
like
is
their
cheap and
finance.
immature, and even in things like heavy rainfall, the loss
And
of
then the
power
guy that
is
owns
less
the
than
X
5%.
Prize or whatever is like that
Benefit of using
Diamantis guy,
microwave
and then I'll
power
show you
versus
here.
other frequencies, let's say
So we
millimeter
got
wave for
Venter,
optical.
Diamantis,
One big one is if
and
you
Musk.
want to wirelessly power from space
And then
to
yeah,
Earth,
look, he's on
you get a
here.
lot less absorption in the atmosphere from microwaves compared
And there's
to
actually
optical
okay.
waves
This
or
is what the other group
so for
that they
that use
have
case
is
of
this
space-time
one.
power beaming, microwave has a huge benefit.
We learned that we can exploit
The
scattering
Singularity
from
group.
terrain in the path of the beam in order to increase power density at the target location. This should be really useful in future terrestrial applications.
We live in a world of rapidly accelerating technologies, computation, artificial intelligence, robotics, augmented and virtual reality, digital manufacturing, genomics, biotechnology, sensors, networks, and nanotechnology.
Each successive generation of technology provides the tools to create the next, with ever-improving outcomes.
At Singularity University, we believe in the power of entrepreneurship and that virtually any problem can be solved. Further, that the world's biggest problems represent the world's biggest opportunities to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people.
While the greatest universities on Earth offer deep technical knowledge in specific disciplines, Singularity University was founded with 3 primary purposes in mind. First, to educate individuals and organizations across the breadth of exponential technologies.
Second, to empower visionary leaders with an abundance mindset.
And third, to build communities that are creating solutions to humanity's greatest challenges.
Because today's technologies afford individuals and small teams the ability to accomplish what was only once possible by the largest corporations and governments, we recognize that with such great power comes great responsibilities.
It's just got agenda written all over it.
On exploring
This is
and
like
defining the
CIA,
ethical
government,
standards that will enable the world to
New World
realize the
Order.
promise of accelerating technologies while avoiding the peril that invariably accompanies new technologies.
We welcome to Singularity University all those who dare to make the world a better place and those who dare to shape the
Archon Prize presented by Express Scripts for Genomics. Go back into this one real quick. And then, yeah, this is actually, I believe, a video.
The X Prize Foundation runs incredible large-scale competitions around the world that set very clear, measurable, objective goals.
So yeah, come into my Twitter, check some of this stuff out. I'm not gonna go too far into this, just showing you guys. Carbon capture, Neuralink, and the meaning of life. That's what his $100 million X Prize deal is for. And all of this is under this Earth Biogenome Project, the big agenda. Because, yeah, Venter, he did the Human Genome Project. And all this stuff is connected to that. And then I'll just leave you guys with this one.
I have COVID, but I'm thankful for booster. 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 I have COVID, but I'm thankful for booster.
Peace and love, y'all.
I have COVID, but I'm thankful for booster.